For Christmas, I got a drawing tablet. It's from Huion. Huion? I hope I'm saying it right. Not only does it support PCs, it also supports devices that have a USB-C cable, aka the new standard for phones, tablets, and other devices. The only tablet I've used prior is an iPad. This one is an iPad Air 4th generation, and I think it's a few years old. And she still works nice and dandy. I'm not putting her in the retirement home. I have had tiny prior experience using a drawing tablet. I do have the original tablet, or at least one of the tablets I used when I was younger. This is an older Wacom tablet. They originally belonged to my mom, who was letting me experience different mediums. Look how cute it is. Oh, it's so tiny. This one was made in 2013. I was 10, and now you probably feel old. The software is still functioning though. I could technically use this today. When I used the Wacom tablet for the first time, I tried to use my dad's laptop and MSPaint. I messed around, but I was kind of overstimulated and confused. I tried to draw one picture, didn't know how to save it, and went back to paper and pencil. Looking at it now that I'm older, more experienced with technology and with my art, I can give it a better try without giving up instantly. I didn't just get a drawing tablet just for the sake of being able to draw on my PC. I also wanted to do more content that I couldn't just do on my iPad. Stick around and you find out what I mean. And now that we have everything plugged in and ready, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to make art on these different art programs. I will practice, mess around, and generally get the hang of using my tablet. Once I do that, I will draw one final piece on Procreate and then draw it on the other programs. I've opened up MSPaint numerous times growing up. It's always been an addition to Windows, going back even further than I thought. Did you guys also watch those insanely inspiring MS SpeedPaints? Like, this one lives rent-free in my head. People are still very much doing it today and are making amazing art in the process. I will link the videos in the description if you want to see them. Alright, let's pull this up and get started. We're starting off with a simple drawing of my character. For the first time I used this tablet, it was very smooth and I felt like my stylus was in sync with what was going on the screen. It definitely beats using a mouse. It's not impossible to use a mouse either. There was an artist that did this, but apparently it was revealed that they were tracing other people's art, so I'm not going to show their art. If you're looking to dabble in MS Paint, I have a tip. When you start with a sketch and want to clean up, I recommend you use a lighter color. After you finish your line art, you can use the bucket tool to clean up like so. The cleanup is effortless, you don't need layers. So here we have the first drawing. Nothing crazy, just a test run. Took about half an hour. The next drawing took much longer because I decided to lock in. The footage you see is sped up super fast. Of course, I decided to draw an attractive woman. Who doesn't enjoy drawing that? By the way, if you see times I had to crop the ratio of the video, it's because I had Discord notifications on my screen. My hand-to-eye coordination by now was better, so sketching was effortless thanks to my previous format. When I draw, I like to angle my drawing to make certain strokes because it's easier for me. I couldn't really do that here, which was a tiny challenge. I could rotate the screen, but I only really flipped the image horizontally. Another problem I had was looking at a white screen for hours while I worked. It was so bright, and I'm a dark mode user. I just had to take constant breaks because holy crap. I am really proud of how this came out. The way I made the fabric of the tank top just tickles my brain the most. Having limited but a simple layout really allows me to flesh out things on my own and compromise. Today, a lot of art programs offer various tools and resources, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong, it's great. That's one of the pleasures of digital art. It comes down to the artists themselves. But if you want to try out digital art and don't want to spend any money on any apps yet, I can suggest MSPaint. It's free and not really complicated. For some beginner digital artists, the general layout can be very confusing and overwhelming. So yeah, let's move on to that. Me and Medibang go way back. It was my primary art program for some time until I got my iPad. I don't remember what model I got, but I used the Surface Pro. So my sketch portion kinda just evolved into a fully fleshed drawing. If you don't know, this is Bride from Creature Commandos, a new animated show from DC. I know nothing about this character from the comics, but if she's anything like she is in the show, she's awesome. Season 1 goes by really quick, so I won't spoil the plot of the story. So here's a bit of a related, unrelated story, but before I received the Surface Pro, I asked for the iPad instead. At the time, my parents said absolutely no to any Apple-related product. All I really wanted was the tablet itself to strictly use Procreate. It's only for iOS devices right now. Plus, I didn't really mind if it was the most recent iPad. I wasn't upset. Of course, I still made a lot of use from what I got. I was still pretty pumped when I got my Surface Pro. I was just like, I'm going to buy one myself then, with my own money. Time skip years later. My younger siblings have iPhones, and one of them has an iPad. The joys of being the eldest child in the family, I guess. You walk so they can run. Trust me, I'm not really upset at the fact that I didn't get a square piece of plastic, but more because the same reasons they told me no basically got thrown out the window as I got older. Anyways, back to Medibang. Did you guys know an independent Japanese indie company made this? It's also good for comic and manga making if you're into that. Medibang is also accessible for Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. This program is free to use, but there is a subscription service available. I think that it mostly impacts the app version though, because the ads are obnoxious there. There is this website called Art Street that's basically the art community for Medibang. If you make an account there are cloud services that can save your work up to 3 GB. You can upload your work, find other artists, enter contests, and enter badges or something to hit a creator status. I have no idea why, but I had to go through so many hurdles and shit with this program. I don't even think it was entirely the tablet itself, I don't really know. It was like compatibility or optimization issues. I had to change a lot of settings and get help from people on your old forums. But I eventually figured it out and it was smooth sailing. Here's the final piece from Medibang. I kinda ate with this one, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really proud of how I rendered this here. I only used one brush as well, which was easier for me. Maybe another time I can use the other brushes instead of the pencil ones. If you can't see the reference, well, here it is. Done looking? Cool. Now we go on to... Initially, Clip Studio Paint is like a labyrinth maze. I've never actually used Clip Studio Paint. I didn't even know it supported animation actually. I just know it's super popular and used a lot. I can understand the basics of course, but there's also a lot of shit that is confusing. I'm not going to dig into that as much as I did the first two. Yeah, it's pretty much because I don't want to. I'll just say a few things. Clip Studio isn't free. If you're new, you can get a 30-day free trial if you make an account. Otherwise, you pay monthly. There are two different versions, Clip Studio Paint Pro and Clip Studio X. They're suitable for illustrators, comic artists, animators, and anything else you want to do. If you don't want to pay each month, there's an option to make a complete one-time payment indefinitely. I didn't record the bit where I was exploring the confusing depths of this program. About an hour into the sketch, I had lost my initial motivation and then got ruined by art block. Mix that with me trying to properly understand the layout and commands of this program, and yeah. I tried to push through, but I was legitimately getting that frustrated. I wasn't satisfied with how it came out, no matter how many times I tried. So, I wrapped it up and decided to draw a different day. Nothing wrong with doing a little reboot, folks. The character I decided to draw was Drolta from Castlevania Nocturne. It's a prequel to the original Castlevania show itself. It's based on a video game series in the 1980s. I really like this show. Not as much as the first, but it's enjoyable in my opinion. It recently released its second season, and I kinda hope it gets a third. The last Castlevania ended with the third season, but that's because it still had some loose ends to finish. Nocturne kinda has a reason for a third season, but I don't know. I just really like stories like this. Supernatural, dramatic, graphic, and animated. This character is one of my favorites. Actually no, I think she is my favorite now that I think about it. Something that I can also appreciate is all the various stylish outfits she got. I mean, I went for one of her default outfits, but still. I'm not going to delve too much for the sake of spoilers, but her character is just peak femme fatale. The voice actress also did a fantastic job. I can't imagine anyone else voicing Drolta. You know, the more I used Clip Studio, the more I realized it wasn't all that bad. I don't think I used every single feature, but there was a lot I could work with. It made me comfortable enough to make me feel as if I was using Procreate. I do still prefer a tablet I could simply hold on my lap, use my fingers to zoom in and out, and just lower the brightness on my screen, etc. Though what sucks is that sometimes I have to go full hunchback shrimp mode when I draw. I don't really have anything to prop up my tablet besides my knees or a pillow. I like drawing at a very specific angle, or otherwise it's very awkward. iPad cases aren't good for that either. They're better for holding a tablet up, if that makes sense. If I put too much pressure, then it falls down anyways. And here is the final piece from Clip Studio Paint. From the start, I feel like I just couldn't perfect her face, and honestly, I still don't think I got it right. Maybe it's the brows? Ugh, God. But I did really do well with the hands, as I used my own pose as a reference. Because sometimes you gotta be your own muse. Now it's time for the power of friendship and draw one piece using all the programs, including Procreate. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, like and subscribe. Starting this year, I wanted to post at least once every month as a personal goal, but I already missed January, so that's cool. I will probably post again this month though. In the meanwhile, follow my other socials where I post my art, and that's it. Bye.